Michael Chandler comments on the cancellation of his fight against Conor McGregor, caused by a foot injury of the Irishman. The two were set to clash on UFC 303, marking the return of McGregor to the cage, since his leg break in the bout versus Dustin Poirier, also making it the return of Michael Chandler after 2 years, following his own loss to Dustin. Speaking to the media, Chandler shared thoughts on the situation and revealed he's now been offered a fight with Islam Makhachev in October. Quote, "I think life in general is uncertain for everybody. Obviously, for me, the last year and a half, since I got the phone call about the Ultimate Fighter in January of 2022, there was a little bit of certainty there. Originally, it was like, hey, we're going to fight in September after the show. We know how that played out. We got booked for the following June. And then, the last couple of weeks, I was honestly living in it. You know, the press conference gets canceled. Luckily, I didn't fly over there. For everybody that put out articles or misinformation that I flew over there for no reason, I was not over there. There were just rumors. And all the way up to the point of me getting the phone call, Conor's never pulled out of a fight, you know? I stayed positive. I stayed training. And then I got the phone call. So here I am. I wasn't really informed on what it was, besides the possible injury. Obviously, they're not allowed to tell me what the injury is, how severe it is. They have a duty to keep that stuff private. I didn't find out what the injury was until Conor posted it, and that's the way it should be. Yeah, it's a tough phone call to get, obviously. Just put in 10 weeks of solid work away from my family. I was having the best camp of my life. But hey, this is how it goes. I signed up for an uncertain career path. 16 years of hand-to-hand combat. I've never pulled out of a fight, and I've had numerous opponents pull out. I met with UFC and we're working on some things. I've been offered Islam Makhachev in October, but if Conor McGregor's little pinky toe is ready by September, let's do Sphere, end quote. Conor McGregor talks about pulling out of the Michael Chandler fight, the foot injury, and more. Speaking to Severe MMA, Conor shared thoughts on the recent shakeup of the plans for his return to the octagon. Quote, "Yeah, it's tough, you know, but we keep it dialed in. I was kind of looking forward to getting the fight wrapped up by June 29th, having a nice celebration on my birthday, and then dialing it back in for sometime in September. September or October, something like that. Look, everything's moving. Everything's moving parts. Look, I'm good. The injury's a nuisance. It's painful, I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very painful. Probably even more painful than the leg. And that's the truth. And I'll tell you why. Because the leg's at least wrapped up and you couldn't access it. The foot is still there, you get me? It's like it's exposed or something. So it's a bit painful, but it comes with the territory. I need to just dial it in, get my training camps correct. I'm not trying to get hurt in the gym, and I'm not trying to hurt people in the gym either. I'm trying to get to these fights 100%. And that's what every fighter should be looking for, and every training partner should be looking for the fighters that they're helping. That's the goal, and when you do that, you win. I'm very close to getting there. I had a little lapse in concentration, a wake-up call for myself, my training partners, and my coaches. And I'm going to recalibrate, readjust, recuperate, and return. End quote. Ariel Helwani revealed he's reached out to Dana White for reconciliation, but the only answer he got was silence, until Dana commented on the situation publicly. The long history of relationship between Dana and Ariel is well known by the MMA Society, including their infamous falling out after Ariel announced the surprise return of Brock Lesnar on UFC 199 before the company had shared the news itself. A friendly relationship turned into one that's not been lacking hatred for a duration of several years now. Unexpectedly, in a recent interview, Helwani revealed that not too long ago, he reached out to Dana White and all he got was silence. Quote, "Of course, I would love to have a great relationship still with him. But I will say, if he doesn't want to talk to me, if he doesn't want to do interviews, text, all that stuff, I can live with that. The one part that has always made me a little uncomfortable is like messing with my livelihood. That's a different story. I tried my best to repair the relationship. I was sort of not asked, but nudged to reach out to him via text to get the lines of communication open. I never got a reply. I can make a strong case that the olive branch should be reached out to me. I'm not worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He is. I have lost money as a result of some decisions he made." End quote. Dana's response was, as you would expect it, pretty blunt and unapologetic. Speaking to Pat McAfee, Dana reacted to Helwani's words, saying, quote, "This is what he does. At the end of the day, he is entitled to his own opinion and he can say whatever he wants to say. I don't care if he or any media member shows up to any of my events ever again. End quote. Big John McCarthy discusses fighting future of Yuri Prochazka following his knockout loss to Alex Pereira on UFC 303. Pereira and Prochazka had their rematch on June the 30th. And once again, Pereira's shamanic magic won the fight, much to Yuri's disappointment. Speaking to Josh Thompson on their podcast, Weighing In, McCarthy commented on Prochazka, saying, quote, Yuri's in that position of he's absolutely one of the best light heavyweights in the world. And he's so fun to watch, so unusual, and he's been that way since the first time I ever saw him. He really hasn't changed. He's tightened his style up a little bit, but he's still so open and crazy in the things that he does that he's exciting and he's fun to watch. So I don't think he really loses a ton, but the real problem for him is, if you're the UFC, he's not going to get another shot at the title. That's just not going to happen. He's going to have to go through basically the top 5 in the light heavyweight division to the point where they're stuck, a la Max Holloway and Alex Volkanovski. Unless someone beats Alex. And I don't see anybody beating Pereira at light heavyweight. Jamal is a good fighter. I just don't think his style will beat Alex Pereira. Alex's style is a difficult one for Yuri. You could just go back and rewatch his last fight. He took some shots. He walked through every one of them, which tells you it's just a different amount of power coming out of Pereira. End quote. Who would you like to see Pereira face off against next? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.